Perfect. All right, it is Wednesday night, folks. You know what that means. It's time for Notary Meet and Greet. Tonight, this is going to be an open topic kind of a conversation. We don't have anything in particular that we're going to be focusing on. So yeah, with that having been said, who has something they want to chit chat about?
Hello. Hi, my name is Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, first time on here.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. So I'm new to this. Well, I'm not new to notary, but the signing agent thing.
Okay.
So I've had a couple of hiccups with my notary ID. They actually got it wrong. So I'm now waiting for a new notary stamp to come in.
Gotcha.
So that has caused me to
Put the
not
pause.
be able to stop. Yes. So my thing is that I am signed up with Amrock and I believe another signing company. But I have yet to get in, even before all that took place, because I've been signed up with Amrock, I think, since December, and I have yet to get any signings just yet. So my thing is just getting my feet wet. So I'm a newbie, but I'm out here trying to get it. I'm anticipating, hopefully, I get my stamp on Monday. And actually, when I went to the mailbox, I got my stamp. I was excited, looked at the number, and was just like, oh my God. Monday night, I received a signing for $125, like 5 minutes from my apartment.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh my God. And it was just like they needed somebody ASAP, and I could have either I could have countered the offer.
Wow, that would have been a nice one. Now, did
Yeah.
you take note of who that signing is? Was that an Amrock or who was that?
It wasn't Amrock. I don't know I don't know if it came from SnapDocs or whatever. I just looked at it for about a good 10 minutes, like, I wish I can take it, but I can't.
I
Because
would take note of whoever that signing service, if you got the email or the text or whatever you got notification wise, I would take note of who that is. And I
uh-huh.
would basically keep up with them because they got signings in your area. So
Okay.
yeah, I would do that. But you can't really do anything till you get your stamp. So I know you want to get out there and get busy, but you really can't, you can't stamp nothing.
I
So,
know.
but you can just hang tight and you can get my challenge to anybody who's waiting is to get your notarial language to the point, remember it, commit it to memory to the point that you can write it out on a piece of paper if you needed to.
Okay.
So while you're waiting on your stamp, go to your primer, your state's primer, and figure out if you did not have a loose acknowledgement or a loose jurat, and all you had was a piece of paper, then be able to write that. I need to do this myself because I can't do it from paper because I got plenty of loose certificates now. But just because it's a good practice to know what your state verbiage is, because here's why. This is very, 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 very important. You're going to be doing loan signings. And some of the loan signings that you're going to be doing are going to be for properties that are in one state and the lender is in another state. And the notarial language on those certificates, on those loan documents, may not be compliant in your state. And the only way that you will know that is if you know what your state's notarial certificate language needs to read.
Gotcha.
I just put that out there. And that's why my happy behind is not doing loan signings, because there's way more there's way more to it than just doing the signings, because you're putting your stamp on there means that you're putting your a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
full personal liability. So you don't want things to get unwound in the court of law because something happened and they come back and point and say, hey, this whole notarization is void. This language isn't even, this is against the state of whatever. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't know because you just got the documents from the title company or the signing service, had the signer sign, boom, boom, boom. But if you know what your language is supposed to read, if you catch that, there is nobody. If you make a mark, the notary can make that whole certificate is the jurisdiction of the notary. So if you get a set of loan documents and the notarial certificate language is not compliant for your state, you get to mark through that and make it right. And nobody can tell you anything about that because that is your jurisdiction as a public officer.
Gotcha.
So, but that's good though. I'm glad that you're all excited. I mean, it sounds like you're getting ready to hit the ground running. You already got one offer for a signing.
I know, right?
That's really good. What else do you have going on?
Oh, nothing. I'm a jack of all trades. I work for American Airlines too, part-time. So
Oh, so you a flight attendant or you a pilot or what you got going on with that?
I wish. No, I actually work. I'm in Dallas. Well, yep, Dallas Fort Worth area. So I actually work in the Admirals Club. So, and I do concierge keys. So I take care of high profile passengers as well as celebrities and things like that that come into the lounge. We take them to the plane. Before COVID, we were on the ground on the tarmac. Like if they needed to get to the next flight, we picked them up in a car and took them to the next flight. So
that would be so dope if you could figure out a way to tie your notary stuff into that space. I don't know how though. I don't know because I don't know, you know, their assistants and stuff like that want to have, you know, I don't know if they have people who go get when they need stuff notarized. I don't know, just a thought, but that's really cool. Really cool. Who else we got on the call tonight?
Hey, Monica, this is Suzette. How are you? How's everybody doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. I don't have a topic, but I do have a question. So with the car dealerships, I'm ready for that. I've already signed up with Maverick. I'm just waiting for that. I'm rehearsing my script so I can go ahead and approach some car dealerships. So I've researched the managers already. Just wanted to know, what is the actual title for that, for going to the car dealership? Do you know the title of that? Just like a permit runner, we know what that is for.
You know what? That's crazy because until Katie gives it one, it really doesn't have one. Like until she, like with Miss Cynthia, with the permit runner, what she did is she created that title and had it copyrighted because there was no process for it already. And so she created it. She kind of made up the term. There's really no, and I'll have to defer to Katie on that one. There may be some industry term or something that I just don't know about, but I don't think there is one, honestly.
Okay.
So, but that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you could go in there and say, hey, I'm a this, and they would recognize it, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right,
okay.
right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Speaking of notary permit runner, so yesterday was supposed to be part one of the notary permit runner class, but Miss Cynthia had a death. Her next door neighbor, who was, you know, a very sweet woman, we talked about her. She was a very giving woman. Passed away due to COVID-19, and it was yesterday morning. And so Cynthia called me yesterday afternoon to, you know, kind of get ready for the class, and she shared with me what had happened. And she seemed fine. You know, it was more of a sob session for me than it was for her. And then closer we got to the time for the class, I could tell that something probably wasn't right because I could tell that we weren't able to get into the Zoom and everything. So I called her, and her voice, you could tell in her voice, she just, I don't know, everything I think hadn't hit her at the time that we had talked earlier that afternoon. And then it just, you know, it took her a second. But so we're gonna be rescheduling that. I'm not sure tomorrow she's on the calendar. I'm not sure what's gonna happen tomorrow. I wanted to give her today. I didn't want to call her with any businessy type stuff today or whatever. So I'll check in with her in the morning just to see what's up with her and see how she's feeling. And then I will email everyone, and I will do my best not to email it at the last minute. You guys forgive me. Sometimes I do stuff like at 2 minutes till, okay? And I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna try to do much better than that. So I'm gonna do that in the morning so that we can get her back on track. And you know, it's just, it's one of those things. So that's what's going on with that. Oh, Crystal, and everyone else who is owed a certificate. They are done. I have sent them to the instructors, and now I have to wait on them because they waited on me. But the Notary Nerd certificates are done. I have a list from Aretha as far as who's completed, and then I'm working on getting that from Katie. But Katie's doing some signings for land title, so she's not as available as she used to be. So just know that those are coming. Okay, your certificates are coming. They're on their way. They're further along than they've ever been in life. And Aretha emailed me this afternoon wanting me to know that for those of you who took her Making Money with Ron, I'm talking about Aretha Hughes. She's our instructor for Making Money with Ron. She also is a trainer at Notary Cam. And what she does for all of her students is and I'm looking for the email, if once you've passed or gone through her class and taken her assessment and she knows you know what you need to know, she will let you guys be the first to know when Notary Cam is opening up some hiring spots. And I think they're about to do that. So that's a benefit of getting taught by Aretha, is because not all Ron trainers are working on a platform as a trainer. And the owners of that platform really like Aretha, and they really trust her to bring people on board who will know what they're doing and, do a good job. And so they look at her list. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's a cool thing. But I'm thinking they're having some kind of a yep. Here it is. It looks like the training for Notary Cam will start next week, but he wants only to do a small class to take 2 people at a time. Okay, so she's about to open up some training. So that's just an FYI for those of you, if you're on Notary Nerd University and you haven't yet taken Making Money with Ron, the video replays are in there now. Go ahead and start on it as we wait on the next live session to be done later on this month. Aretha was scheduled for earlier this month, or last week rather, but she was sick. It's just been a weird situation. So we're just going to work with our instructors however we need to work with them. Just, I tell them, just let me know what we need to do and we'll do it. So that's all the administrative stuff I had, was the certificates, and then I had the reschedule of the whatchamadoogie of the notary permit runner. Does everybody know where to find everything in the platform? Is everybody kind of okay? Talk to me about that. Let me know.
Yes, I've been looking around. I check every day. And so I saw you had up there today, Notary 101. Mm-hmm. So we have to answer the question about a witness.
Credible witness or subscribing witness.
For your state. So I was looking in my book actually for that, and I did see that. So so it's I've been looking up there, so I'm pleased.
Okay. And one thing too, I was listening to a gentleman talk about that's okay, Yolanda, that's okay. It's better to come to get there than to not get there at all. So better late than never. But one of the gentlemen I was listening to about the membership model was that, and when I say membership model, that's the model of this business, the Notary Nerd University. It's a membership model, meaning that it's the platform's job to provide you guys with the content that you need, that you can go and actually use to make money, but not overwhelm you at the same time.
Right, and that's good.
So there's gonna have to be this balance of, when you guys log in and you see all this stuff, I don't want you to get into a case of overwhelm, Just know that it's there and start where the money is. Start where the money is. Grab a hold of something. If you're not in a Ron state and you can't do remote online notarizations yet, don't do the Ron portal yet. Don't watch that video. Go watch the car dealership navigator and get that going, because that's right now and ready, and sign up with Maverick and what was the other company? DeMars and Associates, I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. That's what I was wondering. I thought somebody did say another one. I just didn't know.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat for everyone.
Okay.
I have an interview with them on the 16th. DeMars opened back up. I put it in the group, the Notary Nerds group already.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sebastian?
I was looking for the email. As you were talking earlier, I was like, oh yeah, I have an interview with them. I need to put on my calendar.
Excited for
So-
you in that. So since you got the floor, tell us how things are going with you. Are you still doing?
Yes.
Actually, business right now is dead. I went back to work. I'm working at HelloFresh warehouse for now, because you gotta have a paycheck, right? But I did have an interview with a company called Mortgage Connect, and Simply Secure Sign. I think I'm going to get hired on as an employee with them, and that will be hybrid signings. And so what I'll be doing as a notary, which I won't be notarizing anything, but I'll be on the front end of the hybrid signing, connecting with the customers and saying, hey, here's all the paperwork that doesn't need to be notarized, but I need you to sign, and getting them set up and signed so that way when the notary arrives with the last little bit, they can just knock out the notarizations and move forward with the signing. So
Sweet. That, oh my gosh, Sebastian, I pray you get that. That sounds like right completely up your alley. Like you get the front end of, so you're basically going to be organizing the loan docs. Is that what it sounds like?
no, somebody else is going to be organizing the loan docs. I will be going through and just, it's like similar to Iran, in that I'm going to be tagging everything and setting up everything so that way they can sign, but I'm putting together all the paperwork that's not notarized. So when you go through a loan signing package, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't get notarized.
Right.
All that stuff is what I'm going to hand them. They're going to do it digitally on their, I got to switch this camera because this one keeps bumping off.
So Sebastian, I have a question for you for that. With that, is that something where you're an independent contractor, or you'll be working for that company?
I'll actually be an employee for them on this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
And so that kind of works out. I kind of don't want to give up being independent, but I'll have enough time to still do it. In fact, I paid the NNA today to get my stuff started for Ron. So that way, hopefully in the next couple of days, I can apply to the state of Texas and become Ron, which they're also looking for, because I'll be, of the 2 people they have, they're looking for a third. They're actually looking for more people, but they're looking for a third in Texas, and to have somebody that's also a Ron would actually enable them. So that kind of just like, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and sign up.
Oh, I'm glad for you. So congratulations. But is Texas a Ron state, if I'm saying it correct?
Yes, it is.
It is. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Nice.
Something to that effect. I just want to add to that, because I just got my digital certificate today, and I'm going through, because I went through the Ron training, and then with that binder that Aretha gave us, that information in there about the digital seal that she gave us options with Acorn Sales, or then also the link to the NNA. And when I clicked on the NNA, that one is a PNG file that you get. And it states in there specifically that it is not compatible with Notarize, Pavaso, and Doc Verify, which I knew Pavaso and Doc Verify, apparently those 2 in the state of Texas, I guess you get your own digital certificate. So anytime you use it, you have to go into the Secretary of State, use that one. And then if you're going to use something else like SignX or One Notary or Notary Cam or any of that, you have to go back and put your other digital certificate in there. So that's something that I was worried about. And then when I found out that the electronic notary seal from the NNA doesn't work with Notarize, and that's the one that I'm going to try to get on, because that's the one that gives you customers. That one will give you the general notary work. So
I had that same question. I had that same issue.
Mm-hmm.
What I found out in doing a bunch of clicking all over Notarize, because they have very generic information on their website, they supply you with your own notarized version of your seal. So you do not have to buy a seal for Notarize, but you do have to get your digital certificate. Now, what you can do, are you in Texas?
Yeah, I'm up near Frisco, so I'm just.
Oh, okay. So you're not far. I'm in Grand Prairie, so
yeah,
you're about maybe 45 minutes away or so. Either way, what you can do is you can go ahead and if Notarize is the only platform you're looking to get on for now, you can go through the NNA. You can pay for the digital, the e-notary stamp. That satisfies the state. Notarize will provide you a stamp of their own, but you can also get the voucher from the NNA for the digital certificate. The thing is with that, whether you pay the NNA or you go direct to IdenTrust, it's the same price.
Yeah.
So
that's what
you
I
can
got
choose.
today. That's what I got the confirmation today. So I downloaded those two things, and that's where I got confused, because I know that the digital signature or the digital certificate, that's not quote unquote visual. That's to make sure that it's not messed with, or if it is, if there's any kind of modification or anything like that, that it shows that happened. So I've got that, and then I just, so I was like, okay, so I need my seal, which is my, digital stamp, and then the signature, right? I still need a signature.
So the seal you can get from the NNA, and that satisfies the state. That shows you have a digital seal from the state. But when you go to Notarize, they're going to provide a seal for you that you only use on Notarize, and it has a little Notarized symbol in the middle and all this other stuff. So I don't know how they got around that or what, but it's there. So you don't have to buy one specifically for Notarize. They'll supply one. And it took me about an hour of digging through link after link after link after link to get to that information. And I also spoke to Zara about it, and she confirmed that they kind of do that. So
okay, because I read that, and that's exactly why I got confused, because I was like, I just got a certificate. Why do I need another one, or do I need another one? And then I was like, okay, well, I still need to get my signature and my actual stamp. So I was like looking for those, and I know that I can get the seal or the stamp, whatever you want to call it, from the NNA, and that's fine. It's just that was what worried me, though, because it says that the notary electronic image of the seal, that it comes in a from the NNA, it says that it's a PNG file, and then the one from Acorn says that it's available in TIFF, JPEG, and DXF. But the NNA specifically states that it's and see, that's where I get confused, because it specifically stated electronic notary seal is $20. It says, note, this seal is accepted by, and then it gives a whole bunch of them. It says it is not compatible with Notarize. So that is the actual digital seal, or is that my stamp?
That's your notary stamp. So your digital seal or e-seal or notary stamp are all the same thing. Your digital certificate is basically it's a combination of two things. It's your digital identity that is actually verifiable by any entity, and it's also a lock. So anytime you use your digital certificate, that identifies you as a notary and your credentials as a notary, that you are a valid notary. And then when you apply that, it locks that document. Okay. Your digital seal or e-seal or a digital notary seal is literally your stamp. It's just a digital version of your stamp that you would put on a document. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's the digital seal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just everyone's using so many different interchangeable words with all of this, it makes it really confusing.
And that's where I get confused. And then the signature part of that.
Now, the signature part I haven't figured out, but I know enough about Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop that I can create my own digital signature and upload it. That's not a problem. I YouTube that, and it took me 5 minutes. So, but Monica, can we go back for just a second?
Yeah. What'd you say?
No, to the screen you had where you were looking at.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Where you pulled up the NNA.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I was looking at rabbit poop.
It's okay.
I was scoping out my competition.
That's only a normal. It's only a normal thing to say coming from you.
Okay, wait, did you want me to scroll down?
Okay. Yeah, so this digital certificate right here, and it's the same in every state. You've got a digital certificate and you've got an electronic notary seal. So the electronic seal is just that. It's your notary seal. It's just in a digital or electronic version. That digital certificate is your identification. It's like your driver's license, but it's a way for them to verify that you are who you are, that you are a notary, and that no one else can sign this. No one else signed this document but you. And then it also, when you do that, it gives you the option to lock that document when it's notarized and completed, so that if any changes are made, they know that when those changes are made, or that no changes can be made after you lock it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And I did that. And when I was doing it on that IdenTrust, they give you those questions that we were talking about, those what were ACK, the personal acknowledgement,
Yeah.
what do they call it? Yeah, ridiculous stuff. Asking me like, who was my second grade teacher, and where did I learn to drive, and what state was,
Oh no.
so where was I in 2010 or some, crazy stuff.
I think they pull up to, I want to say they pull up to 10 years of stuff available, but that's all like, it's stuff that's just below the surface. It's not like completely surface, but it's just below. So, like a car you had or your last address, really weird stuff. But it's stuff that.
The crazy thing about that though is that I usually use, like, I'll have a question whenever it's a security thing, and I put an answer that's wrong. Like, I know it's wrong, but I do that purposely. So then I was worried. I was like, oh my God, what if they're asking me some of the questions that I would answer, but I always answer them wrong. So I don't know if I need to answer them right or wrong. So I was like, I had to scratch out like half the questions, because I was like, oh my God, I don't know.
If you answer them wrong, just remember the answers.
Yeah.
Who else is doing the remote online notarization, and anybody else in another state getting in it like B? She sounds like she is like on top of it. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and I just need to do it.
Me, I am.
Can you do it in Tennessee?
Yes, Aretha's in Tennessee.
Well, of course, I'm looking at the stupid screen. I would say, Monica, I would say go ahead and get it, because basically all it is think of it like your license to carry. I don't know what you have in Tennessee, but we have a license to carry.
Yeah.
So your license to carry, doesn't it expire the same time that your state ID does, or your state driver's license does? And that's pretty much, Ron is the same thing. Your state gives you an additional thing that you can use, and then they both expire at the same time. But at least in Texas, that's the way it works. Okay. And then once your notary certificate expires.
But your IdenTrust is only good for however many years you pick it up. So that you may have
the IdenTrust is completely separate.
Yeah.
But your notary commission, it has its whatever its tenure is, and then your e-notary commission is added on top of that. And when the notary commission expires, then your e-notary commission expires at the same time. And then here, at least here in Texas, it does. And then you have to recertify as a notary, or recommission as a notary. And then, of course, once you do that, I guess you recommission as a Ron at the same time.
Okay. Well, this will be on my to-do list for tomorrow, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead
and it wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. I honestly thought it would be more. I only paid $82 for that, and then it's another $50, so it's less than $150 for me to get started. And I'm really not going to do anything with it. I'm doing it all for Notarize, because I'm going to do that as a part-time on the side thing, kind of on the weekends or maybe after hours, just to make sure I have that extra money coming in. Right. Because I'll be working from home anyway with this company. I'll be working from home, so I might as well just add on some extra. I mean, I can make it a 14-hour day and make a bunch of extra money. Why not? Right. I'm just planning on using Notarize, so that once they told me that they didn't have it, other than having my Ron commission and my electronic or digital seal, they said that's all they need from me. They don't have any specifics. So I was like, okay, so I can do Notarize and follow their specifics, and that covers both the state, Notarize, and the company. So I went with that. It's definitely worth it to go at least go ahead and get it, because if nothing else, it's sitting there waiting for you to use it. And then you can, you know, with everything that Aretha is giving us, you can go through you have access to everything as well. So you can go through everything, get that knowledge, and then
Right.
if anything else, you know, you have some free time on a weekend that you want to make some extra cash, you hop on Notarize and, you know, make a few extra bucks.
Okay, so for you guys doing Ron, did you go and invest in the hardware like Aretha recommends with the 2 monitors, and did you upgrade because I'm on a Mac and I'm in the all-in-one, so I don't know, you know, the ability to split screens I know was really important to Aretha. She's able to look at one monitor here and one monitor there. What if anything are you guys doing in that regard?
I personally already have 2 monitors, so I'm good with that. I can't work with anything less.
I have 2 monitors as well. I basically use my laptop as one monitor, and I have another huge desktop monitor. I have a 5 terabyte external hard drive that I can use. It was brand new, that I've just never used it. I've got all the other equipment because I was, you know, I'm doing the loan signing. I've got my certification for loan signing. I have yet to be able to get a loan signing, so I'm still kind of signing up and learning which signing services to use. The only thing I need is a webcam, because the one that's on my computer it's not that great. So I need something that'll work. So I can just get that. That's going to be a cheapy thing to get.
I'm about to share I just took a screenshot of a set of text messages I've been getting from notifications at expressnotary.com. For those of you who are not getting any signings yet, or are waiting on signings, or whatever the case may be, this company is sending me stuff like left going right, like all day, every day, as you can see.
Every day, all day.
Let me see, get all this stuff out of the way. Oh, wait. All right. So can you guys see this screenshot?
Mm-hmm.
They have been texting me so if you're not getting any signings and you're looking for a company, and this could be specific to the area that I'm in, you know, so I'm in Middle Tennessee, that's McMinnville, that's Goodlettsville, Nashville, but I haven't signed up not with one signing service. I have not signed up with SnapDocs. The only thing I did was create my profile on the NNA website. That's it. So they are getting my information from signing. I think it's signingagent.com. Is that the NNA's database? So when you register with NNA and you become a member, you automatically get a profile in signingagent.com or whatever that website is. And I guess some of those signing services are actually looking there, because I didn't go to SnapDocs and sign up. So this is a company, I can't attest as far as how they pay, but I just happen to notice they've been hitting me up a lot. So check out expressnotary.com for those of you guys who are looking for some signing.
And Monica.
Yes.
This is Cynthia. I received these text messages from Express Notary every day, all day. I've responded and responded. I have yet to get a signing through this company. And when I called, because I was like, where did you get my information? I was trying to log into their site, and I had to have a password reset and everything, but I was just like a little leery when I talked to the person on the phone. It was kind of like they were just kind of sitting at home with the TV on, and yeah, it was very suspect to me.
Okay, well, I'm glad you said that, because go ahead, B.
They've gotten good and bad reviews from what I've seen, because I'm part of that that Facebook like deadbeat loan signing, and then I'm part of like about 7 or 8 different Facebook groups, and I will just troll through all of that information, and I just, you know, whenever I see somebody's name, I've got that list. You know, I've made my own little list. So
Mhm.
there's some of them that are, you know, like Amrock's about, you know, everybody talks about Amrock. There's Asset Recovery, but they're out of Denver. There's Clothesline Settlements, Inspire Closings, Mortgage Connect, like what Sebastian was talking about, ProLink, Signature Closers, Signing Order, Simple Signings, and then Closing Exchange. So those are the ones that I know that, like, everybody always has good stuff to say about them. I know that there's all these lists, but stuff changes all the time. The Coast to Coast and the Express Notary, Solidify, Sunshine, and Zome. Those are the ones that I keep getting told to start with. But it's that same process where I'll get a notification, but I never get any kind of response. And then and one thing that somebody told me, they're like, always respond to them. Doesn't matter if you get it or not, because if you don't, then your response, you know, if you're not responding to this, then I guess it looks bad on the other side. And I'm like, well, if I didn't sign up for them, you know, why is it my responsibility to respond to them? Why do I get, you know, a bad mark for not responding to somebody that I don't know who it is, don't know where it is, you know, they give vague information. So that's just something you know, I want to be very picky about who I sign up with, because, you know, right now in my life, I have the ability to do that, you know, so I'm not desperate right this second to start working. And I've been, you know, I've been an at-home travel agent for the last, I don't know, I've been in travel for 27 years. So my industry is
Ooh.
decimated, but I'm gonna, you know, I've got to find something else. And this is my new path, but I don't need to jump off the deep end and just take whatever, whenever.
Right.
I luckily I have that ability, and I have a little something that comes in, and I don't have to worry about that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
B.
some of these that are kind of sketchy.
B.
Yeah.
The other thing too is I'm getting all those texts from them also, and they won't even put a zip code. Like they're sending it to me in Chicago. Chicago is about a 25-mile long city. So I'm not going to say yes, because a lot of the ones that they send out, it's like $80. Well, I'm not driving down to the Indiana border at rush hour for $80, driving 25 miles one way, you know? So I get really aggravated that I'm getting these constant texts and they're not more specific. I don't know if that's what all the signing companies are like, or are they more specific?
I haven't found any. They'll send me stuff for Oklahoma. I'm 45 minutes from Oklahoma. I'm not authorized to take that stuff, but they'll send me stuff from there. So yeah,
A lot of it, a lot of it depends on, well, a lot of it depends on who you signed up with and what you defined your area as. So
And do they respect that?
No,
Yeah,
not that I've seen.
Some do, some don't. Every company is different. You know, there's no one way to do anything with anybody unless you have that relationship. There are some that will respect that boundary. They ask you, you know, what are the areas you're willing to cover, and there's others that just don't care. If they're just pulling you from signingagent.com, then and you're like way out there, then they're probably pretty desperate to get somebody to do that signing. If you're, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours away, they're looking for somebody. They're just not finding them, which is why you're getting that message.
Right.
So the money's out there to get. It just depends on what you're willing to do.
Yeah, when
what you're
you
willing
say
to
that,
do and what you're willing to accept. Now, that, like I said, that's a personal business decision. And if that's not something you want to do, don't do it. I wouldn't, you know, that's really crazy that they would put that 2 hours away. But I've had something similar in that they wanted me to go like an hour and a half drive away. And I'm like, and there was one, I think it was less than, I know it was less than 100. I want to say it was like 60 or $80. And they wanted me to drive an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Oh no.
The same has happened with me. I understand.
Who was that? Who was that? Yaja?
Yes, this is yeah, sure. I'm in the house with a bunch of kids. I have like 5 kids, so I'm staying on mute.
That's okay, but you said the same has happened. The same has happened with you, where you're getting signings that are way further away than you indicated that you would be willing to travel.
Yes, like I live in Adamsville, Alabama, and it's sending me to Coleman, and Coleman that's like an hour and a half away from me. Like it's headed towards like Huntsville, Alabama, and I didn't really put that as my area, especially not right now.
I was about to
But
say, yeah, I've heard lots about Coleman from different like people in the transportation business.
yeah, so yeah.
Okay. Switching gears a little bit from the signings, you guys keep plugging with the signings. Like, do everybody's got their own model of what they're doing? Like Bee's being selective on who she signs up with. You know, Diana's being selective about where she goes.
Mhm.
Everybody's got their thing when it comes to the signings, the loan signings, and that's very wise because sustainability is the key word for everything moving forward. I don't care what you're doing. If it's not sustainable, then it doesn't make sense for you to continue to do it. And that means that if you're okay driving 2 hours for $80 or whatever the case may be, that may be okay right now, but that may not be sustainable for the long haul. And the other piece is we want to start thinking about leveraging, still making money in the notary space, but we have got to go from thinking about the money from our active stamping to other things. And so this is why I'm looking at loopnet.com. This is the website. As you guys may or may not know, I'm a real estate broker. This is the website that has most of your commercial real estate. And lately, in like the last couple of meet and greets, I was hoping she was on the call tonight. Pam Johnson, I have to give her credit. She actually, in the last 2 meet and greets, has brought to us the notary office suite idea that she is implementing. And I think she has a couple of them now that she's trying to get going in different states even. So let's just take a second. Let's think outside the box. This is still notary, but I just challenge us to expand our horizons and look at where, since we're kind of boots on the ground, let's look at the industry from a bird's eye view and let's see where the problem is. And let's see if there's a creative way that we can solve it. If we're equipped to solve that problem, great. If not, then we just, we move on. But one of the big things that I see in the industry at large is especially during the pandemic, is signing in people's houses. Sometimes people don't want you in their house. Some people are posting, oh, we signed in the garage, or I keep a table and da, 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 da. Well, what if you had a space? What if there was a space, a very well-appointed space that, was fairly easy to get to, that you could let the signing service know, hey, the signer is going to meet me here. And will they do that? Yes. How do I know? I did it, right? For the few little signings that I've done, one of them, and I do have an office space that I lease. I'm leasing it with someone. It's a title company, and then I'm just kind of paying half the rent, so it's not totally mine. But in this case, the signing service wanted me to go all the way out to BFE to meet this guy on a loan modification. And I on the assignment, I put in my office address because it said signing location. I just quickly typed over it. I didn't call them and ask them if I could. I said, nope, this is going to be where it's going to happen at. Called and confirmed with the signer. He was okay with it. He was an hour late to the signing. So I sat there for an hour and I had gotten, blueberry muffins, and I had hand sanitizer, and I had the whole conference room laid out. And he strolls in, he gets his blueberry muffin, does his signing, and he leaves. So there was never an issue of, I got to come to you. So let's talk about that. What are you guys seeing and hearing when it comes to signings in people's houses?
It depends.
Okay.
Like I received an assignment today, and it was for a deed in lieu. It's not far from my house. And so the lady, she was saying, well, how does this work? I said, well, I can come to you or we can meet. because I did a loan signing standing on someone's front porch. It was 30 degrees. Never again. And had they told me that prior, I would have planned that much differently. But yeah, it's just, you can just right now I'm at the point where I can come to you or we can meet somewhere.
So there is the problem. There is the pain. The signers don't want us in their house, and we don't want to be in the signer's house. Okay. So when you have a pain like that, at least with me, when I see a pain like that, then my whole thing is, how do you solve that pain and what monetization exists around that pain? And what Pam is doing wherever she is she's solving that pain by, she's an investor. She's not even a real estate agent. She said that she's just an investor, and she has a commercial lease that she's going to be negotiating with the landlord. And she says, hey, landlord, I will pay you $700 a month, okay, for this office space. And maybe there's enough space there for 5 or 6 desks or so, right? And the landlord's like, okay, great. I'm happy. Why? Because commercial space right now is for the taking, right? Because everybody's working from home. So this is a great time to be approaching some of these vacant commercial retail locations. And so what she turns around and does is she turns and she says, hey, notaries, are you tired of standing outside in 30-degree weather? Are you tired of cats humping your leg? Okay. Then guess what? I got this cool space, and for $200 a month, which is a couple of signings, maybe even one, you can have a professional space in your desk and to be able to schedule your appointments and meet people here in a very, hygienic type of a situation. And she's got, I think, 5 or 6 notaries that have signed up for that, and they pay in advance. So she turns and she pays the landlord $700, but she's got, let's just say, 6 notaries paying her $200. So she's got $1,200 coming in, and she's only paying $700 out. And that's not having to drive and do any scan backs and do any printing. You see what I'm saying? And that's the type of thing that's scalable. It's not something that you have to just do in your backyard. We're in the digital age now. She just, with the right partners and the right people in play, you could do this on a grander scale all over the place. And then all of a sudden you look up and you've got this portfolio of properties, and you haven't gotten out of the bed, and you're getting mailbox money to the tune of however much per month. And now you're not even thinking about doing a signing, right? But you're still in the notary space. So let's start thinking like that. So somebody just give me where you are, and we're going to go look, and we're going to see what commercial spaces on LoopNet. Just come off of mute, whoever wants to see.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead, Suzette.
I live in Georgia, in particularly Henry County, Georgia. So that might be like McDonough, Georgia, or Stockbridge, Georgia.
All right. And I'm looking at retail space. And another a thought that popped in my mind earlier is if it could be in close proximity to a Kinko's, maybe within 5 miles or so to a Kinko's, that would be ideal. And you don't want to be in an office space like my office space. My office space is secure. It's in a plaza with plenty of parking, but you have to hit the buttons to go in, and it's not real. And there's several suites, and I've only got one, and it's not really conducive to this type of thing. So you want to get something like this, right? Where you could come in and hopefully it wouldn't be this rough, but the idea is for you to be able to set up desks that were spaced out nicely enough, and that you have other anchor stores around you that have plenty of people walking through, and it'd just be a matter of time before people realize, oh, there's a notary spot there. Oh,
and that's a good location, because there is a UPS store right there, over there. You can't see it, but it's a UPS store right there as well.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, anything like that would be close. But let's just look at okay. That's a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
$16.
Even someplace too that's close to a post office too, because then you think about apostille and then you think about, you know, your notarization. So there's a lot of other stuff that you could do there too.
Exactly. So
Okay.
this is the kind of thing, and you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, right now you get what you negotiate. Those are the words, those are words you never want to forget. You get what you negotiate. So let's say you don't want to tie yourself into a 12-month lease, right? And because you're not sure how things are going to work out, you want to kind of stay as flexible as possible. And you're just not sure if, you know, you're going to be able to keep the notary's attention for those, you know, those people who are going to be leasing from you for that 12-month period. Negotiate for a shorter lease term, just until you can see how there's all kinds of ways that this can be done. I'm actually looking at some space in Nashville because I think everything is all about location. My location, like I say, is kind of, let me show you guys where I am. So it's a cool space because it's got plenty of parking, right? And it's great for, you know, the one-off signers that I've had come and meet me at the office or whatnot. But as far as, you know, ease of entry, it's not like friendly for you to just walk up and come in. There's the office right here. And there's a keypad. You see he's entering his keypad number over here to get in. So it's not like people can just walk off the street and come in. So you wouldn't want a location like that. You would want something that would allow for people to come and go, kind of like a UPS store or a Kinko's, something that allow for free flowing in and out. So that's definitely something I wanted to put on you guys' radar. I don't want to, you know, spend too much time on it because I know it is kind of a leap. You know, you're talking about a commercial lease, you know, let me get my notary stamp first, right? But yes, Christina.
One thing that I do too is have like a virtual office, and in some of them virtual office spaces, you're able to rent out a room for a few minutes. And you could have somebody like meet you in that particular office. And it costs, you know, $50 maybe for 2 hours or whatever the case may be. So that may be another option versus just jumping straight into this option.
Right, that's a good point. So for those of you who are just looking for a space, period, for yourself, and see, these are two different schools of thought. So one school of thought, I'm thinking as a notary entrepreneur, actually a self-employed notary, right? Because have you guys read Think and Grow Rich by David Kiyosaki? Okay.
Yes.
So for those of you who have read it, you know that right now we are not business owners, right? We are entrepreneur, we are self-employed, because business owners, they don't have to show up. Business owners can go golfing or go to Aruba and their business keeps running. Right now, all of us on this call are self-employed. We work, we just work for ourselves. We don't work for anyone else. So to Christina's point, for those of you who are thinking in terms of being a self-employed notary, that the meeting space, renting it for the, you know, by the hour or whatever, that is a very good model. For those of you guys who are thinking in terms of becoming business owners, and you don't necessarily want to be there or want to be the one to do the stamp, then this model, you identifying the space and then making it work where other notaries can benefit, would be where you wanted to begin fleshing out. So there's going to be two schools of thought. You can do them both at the same time, right? You can still be a self-employed notary and think about how to best structure your business as far as doing your signings and dealing with your logistics of your business. But then you also want to walk down that same path of, how am I going to do this sustainably for the long term? Am I going to keep doing this? Let me start working on this area too, just a little bit at a time, and see where this takes me. Because this is where we want to be. This is, you know, over on this side. We don't want to be doing all the work. Okay. We don't want to be doing 10 signings a day. We don't, you know, no, we don't want to do that. Right. We want to get to where we know how to do 10 signings a day and can make that kind of money. But long-term sustainability, we want to figure out how we can replace ourselves. Crystal, yes.
But if you're doing the virtual like Christina said, you can't charge the travel fee for just like general notary work, right? You can't charge travel if you're just kind of posted for a couple hours.
You may not, it is going to be one of those state specific things. Christina, did you want to chime in on that? Like, I think that's going to be state specific.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure about that one.
Yeah, and then two, if you can't, you guys, look, you know how I do, convenience fee. Hello. Just because you can't call it a travel fee don't mean you can't charge it. You just need to figure out another category that you can put it under and put it up under there and keep it pushing. You know, check your primer. If it's not prohibited, then don't go asking for permission, just beg for forgiveness, right? If it's not expressly prohibited for you to charge a convenience fee and you go to one of these little offices and you can't charge a travel fee, then you're charging a convenience fee instead, right? Anybody else?
On the topic of the convenience fee or the other fees, like for a RON, just in that area, I think Texas has a maximum that you can charge for general notary work. So even if you do a RON, I think it's $31. So if you have your own, like the individual platforms, and you bring somebody on to do that, so you can only charge them so much. And I think the maximum is 31 in Texas. I'm not sure how that goes though, how that works that. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once I finish my signing up with the RON for the state of Tennessee, what limitations they're putting on that electronic piece. So, but I know that is a really state specific thing. Christina, your hand is up. Did you have another question?
Oh, no. Let me figure out how to take my hand down.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure before I did it. Okay. Who
I
else?
have a
I just wanted to say something. Just if people are thinking about taking office space, the loan signings are really crazy right now, but that will eventually calm down, and there's so many people rushing into the space right now. And then eventually, people are going to fail out. So I think only the people who are super serious about it can really take an office space and make sure, they don't take it for too long, just in case.
I know right now I've been hearing a lot of people, Monica is one of the people that I've heard that rates are starting to go up anyway. So there's probably going to be a nice little swell here in the beginning. People trying to grab that last minute, like that under 3%, definitely probably under 2.5% or whatnot, that they're trying to get those rates down if they can before it all goes away. But I think it's only going to be another 6 months before it starts changing. So that's something else to consider, in that signings are going to go up a little bit, but after that, they're going to calm down a lot.
Can I say something regarding what you're saying?
Sure, go ahead, Melinda.
Thanks. What I've heard was all these people who did these 2 points and 2 point something are going to want to refinance again and get the equity out of these homes. So there's supposed to be another spark on that one. Has anybody heard that?
No, I haven't heard that, but I do know with lending, I used to do refis, and if they refied into a 2.2 and they didn't take any cash out, I'd be surprised. So if there's any cash left, if there's any equity left, I'd be surprised. But that's, if they refied and just did a rate and term refi, and that's it, then yeah, you're right. There will still be people who, if they left equity there, they'll probably try to go back and do another refi to get that equity. But most of the people that are doing the refis are getting cash out when they're getting the refi done the first time around. Am I wrong?
Monica, I work on the inside. I'm a processor as well as prepare for closing. A lot of people are not taking the money. I'm seeing people come to the table with $9,000 and $10,000. I've never experienced that before. I actually did a loan signing one day last week where I walked away with a $9,000 check from the signers. But even in the inside where I'm processing and preparing for closing, people are not taking the money out.
You know what? That just speaks to what Melinda just said then.
Mhm.
So there may be this underlying another surge, because this gentleman I got pulled up here, he's a loan officer. This is Mark Friedman, and he's going to be teaching on Notary Nerd University. And I asked him, I said, what are we talking about? What are rates looking like? Talk to me. He was like, well, for the most part, the lenders that did a lot of hiring to address all of the demand have started to let go of their excess labor, their excess staff, because the numbers have kind of started to, subside in certain parts of the country. So, and he said that the interest rates are probably going to stay low for 2021. In other words, we probably won't see this big spike. So you'll still have refinance, HELOC, and to you guys' point, some cash out refis still happening. But let's talk about diversifying our services, right? Because all that in everything that we're talking about right now is loan signings.
Mhm.
Your notary commission gives you, so it's like I tell the real estate agents, a lot of real estate agents get their real estate license and they do residential real estate for 30 years. They don't touch land, they don't touch commercial, they don't touch da-da-da-da. With you guys, I'm gonna be the same way. Your notary commission gives you a way bigger swath from which to make money than just loan signings. So if you know loan signings are tied to the mortgage market, and you know the mortgage market is cyclical, and you know there's a lot of notary signing agents getting in the business, and you and you got 107,000 miles on your car, okay? And you know what I'm saying? And the tires and the oil, you got to factor all sustainability, okay? So keep digging on the loan signings, but this is time to pivot and not be tunnel vision loan signings, but to now find at least one other thing. If it's the car dealerships, if it's adoptions, if it's apostille, if it's estates and wills, you got to find another pocket of potential money to get going, and not wait till June or July to start ramping that up, because it's going to take you 90 days to ramp up anything, to get your marketing going and let people know what you're doing and that kind of thing. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think the car market, car sales will return, like for new cars, will return after this COVID's long over. We had 2 of our vehicles knocked out in a storm this past summer, lost them both in the same storm by a tree. And so here we were completely carless. So we had to buy a car real quick. We couldn't find a decent used car that wasn't top price. Because we went to some place that, like, Carfax or whatever. Yeah, I mean, not Carfax, but, those lots that are like, here's the deal. It's the bottom price, we don't haggle. We couldn't find anything that was like a really great price. They wanted top dollar. You couldn't negotiate, nothing, because used cars have been snapped up like crazy during COVID. But when the new cars come back after all this COVID, it'll probably be a good area.
Mm-hmm. And just knowing that is, a viable, and I think most of those contracts, are what, 27 pages, excuse me. And I don't believe that every last one of them requires a notarization. I know the cars oriented contracts that I've had have only required one notarization. I haven't had a lot. So being familiar with that car sales paperwork, being familiar with that language that Katie teaches us, those terms that she teaches us, to be able to go and know how to show the car people, the finance managers, that what you're talking about and you can save the money. Just having that skill set is going to be good, because again, you want to make sure you have a diverse set of ways for money to come in instead of just one way for money to come in, because that's not sustainable. Again, if you were thinking about getting a space like me, then, or a different space, then I would definitely have somebody in here, my 19-year-old, my 21-year-old, his girlfriend, somebody would be doing fingerprinting all day. They would be trained, they would be skilled, they would know how to roll fingerprints, and I would make the investment in this device, this live scan device, and put it in that into that place, and then be doing FBI background checks and whatchamacallit. And I probably wouldn't reinvent the wheel on that. I would probably just partner up with this guy over at Daniel Jerkowitz. He's a marketing guy for printscan.com. I wouldn't reinvent the wheel, you know. I would just plug in, because I think the pain is that there is not a space that people can reliably go and get notarizations. And so what's happening is the mobile notary market is making do. We're taking tables, we're putting, you know, printers in our trucks, we're signing in garages, you know, for those of us that are out there doing that. So all of these things are pain points that if somebody solves them, because if somebody showed up and said, hey, I've got this office space and it's $200 a month, and there's nice tables and or whatever desk, and it's free internet, and the one that Pamela has a copier and a scanner, and there's a FedEx drop off right there. I mean, it's totally convenient. Then, you know, if you're making a little money, you might look at that as a business expense, and you might sign up for that. I just want you guys to start thinking of being that person who can get that commercial lease too, because you guys can do that too, right? And be the one that people are paying. But so yeah, so that's just a seed. I haven't watered it yet. I'm just planting it. So we'll come back and revisit. But what else do you guys want to talk about?
Actually, I had a question. Do you have somebody that's going to go over the fingerprinting thing?
I'm going to try to get this gentleman to come and talk to us. I've reached out to the sales team via email, and I'm just waiting to hear back. So, and they may have emailed me back, so I'm not going to say they haven't. So I'll get on that though. But yeah, I want to bring him in and see if he can't help us with that, because I think it's a really great ancillary service to offer. We want to get into stuff that's being done every day, no matter what. Pat yourselves on the back. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in an industry that's not going to stop. Period. Notary publics will always be needed. Will loan signing slow down and move up and down? Yes. But will notarization stop? Heck no. They can't stop. If they stop, this whole country will come to a complete halt. Okay? Deeds can't get transferred. Powers of attorneys can't get signed. All of that stuff would come to a halt if we were not able to notarize documents. So pat yourself on the back for that. So step one is good. You picked a great industry that's not going to be affected by any type of economy. But a lot of us, I'm concerned, are just tunnel focused on the most cyclical part of that industry, which is tying ourselves to the mortgage market. So start to stretch it out a little bit. Keep your loan signings, but start to find something else if it's just that one other thing that you can add to the mix. Yes, B.
I was just going to say that, like, I have a running list, and it's already 2 pages of just different ideas of what I could do, not necessarily what I will do.
Right.
But I mean, it's like, it's all this stuff. It's the mobile notary, the loan signing, doing fingerprinting, employment verification. One of the things that I actually saw today, I've heard it a couple of times, and I'm wondering if it's part of the permit at all, but it's like a document courier. And that I've heard, yeah. And somebody even asked in the Notary Nerds thing, and I said, you know, I knew somebody who had a courier service, and he was like registered or whatever, but it was, you know, I didn't know a whole lot about his business, but I knew that he was bonded. I knew that he had to have his insurance, and then he was registered by the state, and he used to have, you know, people working for him. He would just dispatch them out, and their document carriers, you know, doing all that stuff. And I've also heard about medical couriers, and they do that stuff as well. It's like one way, it's good money, but it's a lot of wear and tear on the vehicle, that kind of stuff. So it's like the gig economy stuff. But the document courier, I've seen a couple of notaries that have, you know, online YouTube channels, and they've mentioned that before too, as like that's a service that some of the title companies have asked I know one lady, she went out and she actually was going direct, and she was kind of like just recording what was being said, and they asked her if she was a document courier, and she said something about that yes, she was, and that she, was willing to go down to the courthouse. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. So I'm not sure what that's about, but
Very
that's something
interesting.
there.
This is definitely, this is the wealth, I can't remember, who it was that I heard say it, but there are so many opportunities out here for us guys that there's just, to me, no end. And it starts with the commission, us having the Notary Public Commission, and realizing that even though people may not need us to do a notarization, the fact that we've been vetted by the state and have been background checked and have been bonded in a lot of cases, and have E&O, that makes us a great partner for a lot of you wouldn't think businesses like this. Like the inspection or the inspectors. If you don't have a notarization necessarily, but people trust you because you're a public official, you've already been vetted by the state, and so they would tend to want to hire you because of that fact. So think in terms of your Notary Public Commission as a gateway into these opportunities, these independent contractor type opportunities where somebody needs a trusted professional to execute. That's the same thing with the reverse mortgage application. The reverse mortgage application does not require a notarization. However, the lender knows they need a trusted, vetted professional to be able to execute that when they can't. And so guess who fits the bill? A notary public. And there's probably all kinds of industry ways that we could make, connections like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to have a stamp for you to make money off of it, but just remember, because you are a vetted professional, that people will use you in ways like this in order to get their stuff done. Tony.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. I think I kind of missed the part where you were talking about the convenience fee. If you were like a remote, you had like a remote office.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a friend, she has her own tax business. And last year when I went to go get my taxes done by her, it was my first time being in her new office. She had a room, an extra room. And I said, what is this room for? She said, oh, it's just extra space. They had a desk and some chairs. And I just said, oh, okay, well, that's going to be my office one day. Now, I said that before I knew anything about a loan signing agent, notary, or anything like that. And then a couple of months later, I wound up getting my commission, for a notary. And now that I want to go mobile, I'm kind of going back and forth in my head. Do I really want to go mobile? Do I really want to go to these people's houses? And I thought about that office space and I said, hey, that's going to be my office one day, But I'm thinking, like you said, would I be able to add a convenience fee? Would I really see the money versus being mobile?
You're muted, Monica.
I can't hear you, Monica.
I'm sorry, I didn't want y'all to hear me chomping on my legs, so I got myself on mute. You brought up so many good points. So let's start at the top. Okay, so
one, that's kind of a loaded question because it depends on you, your business, and your personal choices for your business. So if it's something you want to do or don't want to do, that's the first order of business you have to figure out. Just because, let's say I'm mobile and I've been able to be okay with it. It hasn't worked out for me the way I'd like, but I know a bunch of notaries that are mobile that are doing great and it's working for them. So that for me forced me to make changes and make other decisions to go in a different direction because it's just not working for me. That isn't to say that it isn't working. It's just not in my wheelhouse for whatever reason. So
right.
It's kind of a hard question to answer because it really depends on you, your business.
What I would say, Tony, is reverse engineer. Think with the end in mind. What do you want? What is the ultimate goal? Is it so much per week? Is it so much, I would say I would work it backwards. I would figure out how much money I needed to make per month. and I would figure out how to do that with, expending the least amount of expenses as possible. And expenses mean drive time, everything. I want to figure out how I can actually make this goal amount every month without killing myself, right?
Right,
And if that involves going to your friend's office space and working out an arrangement with her where you can actually, occupy that space and pay her per hour or whatever, and then charge an appropriate administrative fee if you can't charge a convenience fee that makes up for the travel fee, right? Since you can't technically charge that travel fee. I would make all of those numbers look like I needed to look. And then the next thing I would do is figure out who is going to make this money come in. Is it going to be loan signings? Is it going to be notary permit runner? I would figure out who my cash, like on my farm, what is my cash crop? Who is the cash cow? And once I figured those things out, I would figure out my goal first. How much do I want to make? Am I trying to make $2,000 a month, $1,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month? That's step one. Once I figure that out, then I'm trying to figure out how can I make that and without, I want to keep my expenses as low as possible, but still achieve that number. Then I would say, well, what does that look like? Well, that means I can't drive an hour or two every day. That means that I need to have a place that's somewhat near to my home that's convenient for the clients to come to me. Now, if those clients are going to come to me, then I'm not going to even worry about that space because it's going to be a waste of my time to secure it because they're not going to come there anyway. If my business is going to be coming from money that I have to go get, I have to go get it. So you have to kind of figure and reverse engineer things. So start with your goal of money, then figure out how to get to that money with the least amount of expenses. And then you need a cash cow. That would be the third thing, and figure out what that cash cow is. And it may not be what you think it is, it may be something that surprises you, but it needs to be something that you can pretty much rest assured there's going to be enough of it every week where you could be making money.
Okay.
Did that help at all? Because it kind of was hard.
Yes.
Okay.
It did help. Now, the convenience fee, how would I find out if I could charge that? You said something, I can't remember what you said.
Go to your primer and read what it says. Now, if it doesn't prohibit it, meaning when you read your primer, if it says you cannot charge a convenience fee, then you can't charge one. It's flat out.
Okay.
But if it doesn't say that, don't call them up and ask them, can you charge a convenience fee?
Okay.
Just shut your primer, go to your website, put convenience fee on there. Okay.
Okay.
Keep it pushing.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yolanda, you had a question?
Hi, Miss Monica.
Hey, Yolanda.
And everybody. I'm okay. So, the reason why I even got my office space was because, and I've had mine for a little bit of a while now. It's because I was doing a loan signing, and I kind of came into a unsafe situation. So that kind of stopped me from doing that. As a matter of fact, I was in front of the house and, saw something that I didn't feel too safe with. And I called the signing company and told them I can't do this. I took pictures of everything, sent it in, and said, you're going to have to give this to somebody else. So even after that, I started a tax business. So although taxes is just like 4 months out of a year, I now do taxes and notary. And I'm kind of interested in a wedding officiant. I've been looking into that.
And see, Yolanda, I love the fact that you got a space and you pivoted. A lot of times we don't want to pivot because we made a decision to do a certain thing a certain way and we don't want to change it. Yolanda was doing things a certain way. Something happened and she made a pivot. And she wasn't worried about what people said about her. Oh, you don't need to go get this space, or you don't know what you're doing yet. She said, no, I still need to get the money. So I'm going to have to make this pivot because I don't want to have this situation happen again. So to all of you guys, don't be afraid to pivot. But back to what you were saying, Yolanda, now that you do have that space and you do have the taxes going on, you are primed for the whole, you know, fingerprinting thing. You set that machine in there and you can do FBI and you got the wedding officiant stuff. You could really have a full suite of services to where you're not, you sound like you're already there diversification wise with the taxes and the notary. I hear a lot of that tax notary combination. So to me now it's honestly these FBI background checks. I hear you with the wedding officiants, but you know, from a twice divorcee, I'm not big on the wedding thing, but I know there's money in it. I know there's money in it. Don't get me wrong, but
look, half a dozen in one hand, you got a full 12 in the other. I'm just saying.
There you go. You're right. They're gonna get. I'm just one of those when I see people get married, I'm like, oh, how sweet. Okay, you know, just hope it lasts, but no.
It's all about their day at that time. All that matters.
That's true. You're right. You're right. So let me shut up. You're right. Get that wedding officiant money, girl. Get it.
Days, congratulations. Pay me my money. We out.
I will be there to notarize your divorce papers.
Exactly. I'm happy for you. Thank you for choosing me. You guys have a great life. Can you just slap me my money, please? So I can
If there is anything else you need to notarize from here on out, here is my number. When you buy your house, here's my number. When you get your divorce,
all in the circle. When you get ready to go get that divorce.
When you need to prove your child lives in the address, here's my number.
Girl, got those papers.
Oh, when you write your wills out, here's my number.
So
have you guys started with that?
That's not me. Yeah. Not yet. I've looked into it. But it's really something that I really want to find out more about and get started in.
I say
okay, you can go on the Universal Life Church and go ahead and get ordained, and you can do the whole service if you like and charge even more. So I think that would be a good idea too. And they have everything that you need on the website. Like if you need your certificate, you can order your certificate. They automatically give you a copy. And you can pretty much just order your sash, whatever you want to wear. You can wear whatever you want to wear to the weddings and stuff, but they have specific stuff there that you can order, as an ordained minister.
Ooh. And I've actually gone on there and done the whole process, and it takes about a good maybe 15 minutes. And right away you get it. There's no classes, none of that stuff. You become ordained immediately.
Yeah, I would say just go on YouTube and, look up how to actually conduct the actual service and get your own script, make your own script out, and then just go for it from there.
So y'all are telling me that you can.
Yep, you on the website. That's it right there.
That you can actually go to this website and get instantly ordained.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do it right now.
And they'll send you an email and call you pastor.
No, you guys better not. Oh, you serious?
Yeah, I'm minister. They write me
minister. Yeah. Minister, you're right, minister.
If you go onto the Notary Coach website, he has a program on there with some guy that actually does this. He's an ordained minister or whatnot, and all he does is weddings, and he has a full there's good money in it, and he has a whole system of how to set it up and how to be, just be the most amazing wedding officiant ever. I think it costs like $100 for the class, but it's definitely good information.
We might need to get him on Notary Nerds University. Are you serious right now? Did I just get ordained?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
Did I get ordained?
There's a girl, I heard about this, I can't remember what her name is, but she actually does the weddings on the border down in South Texas. So she'll go to the border and she does the weddings there. Like they have, I don't know, she has like a whole bunch of things that she has to do. And she has one US citizen here and then the Mexican citizen or whatever citizen there. And she does the officiating, and then she packs her stuff up and goes, and they have what they need. But she makes good money doing that. I saw it on YouTube, some random, it just popped up one day and I watched it, and she does it, I think she does it on Instagram. She'll do her little thing and she does stuff on Facebook. But yeah, she makes good money doing that because she does a lot of those weddings that are seriously right there on the border. She just literally goes to the border and does them.
You just have to make sure that for that particular, well, here in Georgia, for that particular county, you just have to find out what are you supposed to do as an officiant, you know, to make sure that I guess the wedding license is done properly and everything like that.
You know what? Y'all are just so inspirational. Like I was not even thinking about weddings and doing weddings, you know, because I'm just kind of like over them. But this is crazy. It's another stream of income, and this is exactly the way we should be thinking. Something that's going to happen all the time, even when the cycle of the mortgage market goes up and down, and people are going to be getting married all the time, you know. So
congratulations, Minister Wilder.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Jackie. Now, I went on that same Universal. When she said it, I went to it.
Okay.
And it instantly makes you an officiant. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I told you.
And if you do the research, a lot of celebrities have done it. So it's nothing new. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
What costs are all the documents that they
That's what it is.
How much do you get paid to do that?
I saw somebody charge like $150 for like a few guests, like just maybe up to 10 guests.
I charge about 200. I said mine 200.
That's good. Yeah.
You can set your own price.
Yes, because you're an independent contractor technically. So I mean, you're officiating the wedding yourself. It's not like you're officiating it yourself, and then you're stamping it too. You know, because you have to do his and hers for the for the certificate. I'm in Alabama, so him and her have to stamp. I don't know how it is in other states.
Is it a stamp or an embosser?
Stamp.
I am, you know what? I am in awe of this whole public official role. Like when you guys said $150, my ears were paying attention. So how long do these ceremonies take?
15 minutes. I mean, when I got married, it was over. I mean, it was.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I've done it twice. It didn't take, but yeah, exactly. It only took 15, 20 minutes.
Well, some people want to go all out. Some people actually want to have their ceremony and, they just don't have necessarily someone to officiate it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, right now in COVID, probably more people need help like this too.
You guys might have hit on something.
Well, I'm gonna fix it now. So, hey.
All right. What would somebody search
now? If they can find a way, to really officiate it all online, have your witnesses and the two people and you, I think that'd be nice.
I just seen something online. Hold on.
What would somebody search for if they were getting married? Would they search for a wedding officiant near me?
It's actually on Thumbtack. I've seen some on Thumbtack.
Yes, Thumbtack is good. Thumbtack is good for everything. I'm a tax professional too, and my Thumbtack has been going crazy.
I haven't got anything on that. I'm on that too. Nothing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I get like 90 something a day, if not more. I'm like, oh my goodness.
We can get it married near you.
What?
Holy smokes. Whoa, 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 folks. Hold it. Let us all pray. Hold on here. Okay. 134 hires. So he's got 82 reviews. So he's busy. 2 weeks before a wedding, changed our date due to rain, hired 134 times, 6 feet. Okay. What? 175, 245. Wait a minute. We're working way too hard, folks.
Yes.
Look at this. Okay.
So does somebody on here do this now or no?
I haven't done anything yet. So yeah, I haven't done anything yet.
I love how
I'm dabbling in it. I'm dabbling.
I love
You
how
can choose a religion. Did I see something like that? You can choose.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Okay,
can
now
choose,
I'm
you
in.
know,
Hold up.
the Universal Life Church it's universal. It's not just one specific religion. It's,
Non-denominational. Mm-hmm.
So basically,
yeah.
you can choose a type of ceremony, you can or type of service to be either that mentions God or doesn't mention God.
So that covers everybody.
Well, but see, it's really left up to the people that's getting married. I mean, you can specify that you don't do that service, but I feel like it's good to open it up to other people.
Okay, so wait a minute. It looks like he offers some type of a counseling service before the wedding. Is that normal?
Yeah.
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 Oh, I'm not doing that.
Well, see, I got a life coach certification, so.
And his background might have that counseling piece in it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also depends on what type of counseling he's doing, because it may just be hey, I just want to get together and see how you guys want to work this out. Is there going to be music? Is there going to be this?
Yeah.
You want me to say some stuff? Do you not want me to say some stuff? Is it may not be like actual marriage counseling, more just like, hey, I need to know what needs to happen here.
Okay, but that sounds more doable.
Here's his background, you guys. I was on staff as an associate pastor for 10 years in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida.
Yeah, so that's it right there.
Okay.
So he may be doing actual marriage counseling.
Yeah, he might be. $145 is what it starts at. So that's very interesting.
Well, with a background like that, that makes more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't hire your wedding officiant based on price. This is the most important thing. Find someone who will spend the time getting to know you both. Okay. All right. This is very interesting. It's worth the exploration, guys, because again, it's all about sustainability and creating a business that you can, eventually step yourself out of. And the more you learn, the more you can train. So once you learn how to do a thing and you're ready to move over into something else, you may not be able to hand over your loan signings to someone unless it was somebody like in your family that you could trust and you could really train up well. But always in the back of your mind, once you're adding these different things, be thinking of, okay, keeping up a good process of how do you do things step by step so that you can turn that into somebody else doing that work. Because the goal is for us not to be doing the work. That's the goal, okay? That's the goal. It's for us not to be always the ones doing the physical stamping or doing the actual ceremonies or whatever. But let's look at her, Cynthia Andrews Looper, wedding officiant, $250. So she's been ordained in ministry. So obviously, if you've been an ordained minister and worked in the church, you're gonna have a leg up in the whole wedding officiant business.
It says she was trained in it.
She's been in ordained ministry since '93.
Because when you go with Universal Life, you automatically become an ordained minister.
Well, apparently in the state of Tennessee, they don't like Universal Life too good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was saying something I was reading about. They were telling us here on the website that Tennessee does not recognize.
Yeah, it's a few states that they don't recognize. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. Tennessee is one of those that they don't tend to like Universal Life Church for whatever reason. But this lady here has got a background in ministry. So it seems like if you got a background in ministry, because she's got all the, see, where do you get the clothes from? Yolanda, what would you wear? Like, would you go get?
You get that on the website, man. I'm telling you, keep looking. You get that on the website.
You get the clothes and everything on the website?
Yes, you get the stuff. You get everything on the website. Keep looking.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Just rack up in there. Just rack up.
So sorry. Oh,
Monica, you thought we ain't had nothing to talk about, huh?
I'm done. I am so. I'm gonna share this on my Facebook, and they're gonna be like, Monica, really, what next?
A lot of people are already hip to it. A lot of people
do it already.
I'm gonna get me a dickie like clergy wear.
They have one on this site.
I'm looking in the church supplies part. All kinds of good stuff. I'm just gonna wear a dickie.
So wait a minute. Oh my! Is this a dickie?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys, I'm done. I can't. No I'm done.
I told you they had everything you needed. Okay. Yeah, everything.
You know what? I think my boyfriend became like a minister in the Church of Dudism. You know, like the Dude, that movie, The Dude. I think he went to a website and he got ordained in Dudism.
It's so funny. Okay.
You know, you can also get your doctorate on here as well.
Oh my God.
I'm done.
Stop.
I'm not playing with y'all. Keep looking.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, so definitely gonna explore this. Definitely gonna finish up my run. I'm not mad at this. It's just I thought it was more. I always thought you had to have more credentials than this in order to be able to perform a wedding. But I guess not. I don't guess you have to. So.
Hey, if you're looking to bring somebody on that actually does it, I know somebody in another notary group that does it out of Florida on a regular basis.
That's who we want. Somebody who's expert level, like knows it in and out. I would love to connect with them and see if they'd be interested in teaching something, on the platform, maybe in March. That would be dope. I would like that.
I'll send you her information.
Okay. Yeah, because to understand, I know there's more to it than just this, I'm sure, right? There's got to be, the little logistics is probably not a lot, but it's just, just dealing with people in a very important time of their life and knowing how to do that with couth. And you know what I mean? And dealing with the different types of weddings and things like that and the whole religious parts of it and knowing, all of that. That doesn't seem too much to figure out, though. I mean, once you get all that figured out, it seems like you would be pretty set to go. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of ongoing training you would need. It would be like a once you got it kind of deal, unless laws changed, of course. But I love this, Yaya. Thank you for bringing this up. I mean, this Universal Life Church, and Yolanda, thanks for bringing the topic.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Anything I can do. Anything I can do.
Y'all done turned me into an ordained minister on February the 10th, 2021. Never did I know that was going to be in my future. So
got you another stream of income.
That's it. You're right. Exactly. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We got about 20 minutes left. Anybody got anything else they want to kind of look into?
Well, I just want to say there's a guy, it's Mark Allen Groleau, Groleau, and he's on YouTube, and that's what he does. Like he started a new career as a wedding officiant. So I don't know. That's probably something I'm going to check out now, just because.
What's his name again?
It's Mark Allen Groleau, Groleau. So he's how to officiate a wedding, starting a new career. I mean,
That's
just all sorts of stuff.
That's the guy that the notary coach has the class on.
Oh, really?
That's,
okay.
Yeah.
So
And so he's like one of the top people to do it because this is everything he does. He's the unboring wedding officiant. So
see,
he
I
really
already
gets it.
like him. I already loved it. I already like the way he's got his, website, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's the
He's
guy whose
definitely,
videos I seen. Yeah, he is on YouTube. Yes.
yeah. He's really good at what he does, but this is his whole focus. This is his entire business. It's everything he does. So he does, like, right there, it gives you the scripts and everything else. He shows you how to really be involved with the people that you're getting, having the ceremony for, how to spend that time and he knows the questions to ask to kind of get to those specific points that they want to have in their wedding. And he breaks it all up. Each session is each thing is different. Like, he charges so much for each part. It's a big thing.
This is worth whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out what the price is. Yeah, that's worth it.
I think be great. You could probably find like, older adults who maybe are retired but are personable and still want to get out. And you hire, like, you have your whole little fleet of them that you assign to weddings.
That is the kind of thinking that I am talking about, Diana. Yes.
I think there'd be lots of great people out there that could do this and would want to take the job here or there or do it regularly for you. And then you just run the business and you send them out to do these.
This
You
is
got one website, handles everybody. People could even look through their pictures and say, I want to pick Joe to be my minister because I just like the way he looks. And there'd be like a little video on them.
I love it. That's a signing service, guys. That's all it is, but it's just a different type of signing.
Can she say that one more time? I'm sorry, I missed what she said.
Basically set up a minister on demand business. Where you've got a sort of a little fleet of ministers under you that people can quickly and easily hire to perform the ceremony. And maybe you're getting like, retired adults who are still vivacious and want to work a little bit and want to interact with people. You have a whole sort of roll call of them that you can call them and say, hey, I've got one, in 2 days, if somebody needs a minister, are you available? Can I send you on this job? Just like a signing service.
Love
But
it.
it's for, on-demand ministers.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's awesome.
Diana, that's genius. That is totally genius. That is exactly the way we should be thinking. This I love. I love his website. I love the fact that he's got this coaching program. I mean, $150 when you're seeing on the other side on Thumbtack that one wedding like would pay for this. Really? You know what I mean? So it's almost like, wow. And to see that he's developed this entire career just around this, that's very interesting. I'm intrigued, to say the very least. I am intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't even know what else to say. So
You're downright giddy tonight.
I am. I've gotten ordained. I still haven't eaten all of my potato chips, which is amazing because I usually would have had them gone by now. So that's a feat in and of itself. And I am literally thinking about doing what you just talked about, Diana, at some point. But I think the real estate broker in me is screaming out loud and saying, you need a space from all of this to be able to go smoothly. And so I think that's kind of where I see all of this tying together, because having a space that people can pop in and get ready to go out on their wedding, or a space where notaries can come in and meet and do loan signings, or a space where a notary permit runner can come and drop their bag and get situated before they head downtown, or a space where a notary apostille, a notary doing apostilles can kind of meet and get things going before they go to the Secretary of State. All of that comes back to a space and not the back of my car. So I think that's kind of where I'm starting to see that a lot of these problems and a lot of these solutions a lot of the problems can be solved by real estate and finding real estate that makes sense. But you got to have, it needs to be like what Pam is doing. I don't want to have to do so many signings to pay the rent. I would much rather have advance rent from a few other notaries who I know are doing signings and doing well. And I've vetted them and I've screened them and know that they've got a lot of business coming in, that the rent is going to be paid. Now I can go over here and get my live scan machine. Now I can get my little wedding officiant people going. And before you know it, you've got a little retail operation that's doing really nice numbers. So all based in that whole notary public commission space. So lots of opportunity, lots of opportunity. Anybody else?
Well, I was just going to say that you can, with that wedding officiant thing, I've got 2 family members that do photography. So then not only do you offer somebody who's willing to go out and do your wedding, but you can also offer, photography options as well. Just, kind of like a gig economy type thing where you have a list of photographers that might be available. So it's not as expensive, because they know that they're just going to do something really quick and you get a little package and then that's it, You don't even have to do anything else.
That's a great idea because I know like 3 different photographers.
And you get a little kickback
would be great.
right there.
I love the gig economy. I love the fact that that's what we're in right now. I love that we can just, in just this call, identified so many streams of income. But the key is, and it's going to be hard, staying focused on those that are actually bringing in the cash before you move on to something that you might look at, and say, oh, this is an interesting, nice little shiny object here. So that's one thing that we have to be careful of because of that plethora of opportunity that's out there for us. We have to really be careful not to, we need to pivot when we need to pivot, but we don't want to be flighty. You know what I mean? And just whoop over here, nope over here, and whoop over here. So we need to figure out what it is that's going to pay and where's the money going to come from, and get that thing going. And then, like I said, start to replace yourself. And so you can move over into this other thing. But this wedding officiant thing has got my attention. I'm going to finish my Ron stuff. Ron is the first thing. I think anybody who's in a Ron state needs to definitely take a look at that very seriously, because commerce is going to keep moving even in the pandemic. And so remote online notaries are in high demand. That's the first thing. This wedding officiant thing, I would definitely take a strong look at this. I didn't realize the numbers look like they did. That causes me to want to stop and pay attention. For those of you who are looking into the possibility of doing an office suite, don't be afraid of that. It's just a lease. Negotiate a shorter term, find your team of notaries, start a Facebook group, see if there's some interest, find out who's actually doing signings and who's making money, because you don't want a whole bunch of notaries in there that ain't figured it out yet, okay? But like Pam is doing, she's getting rent in advance, so she's not having to worry about that. So many ways to do this. I'm just glad that we had this call because I wouldn't have even thought about the wedding thing. And I probably wouldn't have gone and started the electronic notarization application either. So thanks, guys. Anybody else? All right. It's 8:51. We'll close it out a little early. I'll go give my back a break. I've been sitting in this chair all night. I'm thankful for you guys for showing up for the meet and greet. And I will see you guys in the Facebook group.
Thank you, Monica. And y'all have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Nice meeting everybody.
Have a good night.